Good morning, everyone, and a Freilich and Chanukah. So we're continuing in Meshivas Nefesh. It says that when a person if a person starts to look at themselves and say, I'm distant, I feel far from Hashem, I feel distant from Hashem, and a person looks at themselves and they start to feel even very negative and start to despair about the way in which they serve Hashem. So Nachman gives us an eitzah, gives us advice. What should we do? He says you have to find your nekudas tovos. You have to look into yourself and find some good point. He says what happens when you look for a good point and you start to say, well, that really wasn't so good. You start to be down on yourself, hard on yourself. And you say, that really wasn't so good, that really wasn't so great. Says you keep looking, you keep digging, and you keep trying to find more nekudas tovos. You keep trying to find more good things wherever you can. And eventually, if you really can't find anything and everything seems to just be affected by negative ulterior motives, you say, what's my good point? That I'm looking for a good point in myself. If you really can't say, I can't find any good points, at the very least you could say, my good point is that I'm looking for good points. That I'm looking for a way to be mechazik myself so that I can be closer to Hashem. How much more so we say that every single Jew, every single person is so filled with mitzvos. We don't even realize it. And filled with good intentions in those mitzvos. So when a person is in this negative headspace, they're not seeing themselves clearly. They're not seeing the reality of which they actually are. They're tricking themselves. Their brain is tricking themselves to think negative. Similar to when someone is suffering from anxiety or depression. They're not seeing reality in the way it is. They're seeing things in a skewed reality with negativity. Now, Rav Nachman is saying, at the very least, you can give yourself chizuk that you are looking for chizuk. Give yourself chizuk that you are looking to strengthen yourself. Hashem should bless us that we should find the hundreds, thousands, millions of nekudas tovos that each of us have. And if all else fails, remind yourself that you are looking for nekudas tovos, and that itself is a reason to rejoice.